Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our alternative coverage of Group F. Um, and our main game is Croatia against Belgium. I'm your alternative commentator, Nicholas Jones, and you are listening to the Commentary Hub. Alongside me is Paul James, and we've also got Russ Vernon for updates on Canada against Morocco. We'll start with Paul on his thoughts on the future game between Croatia against Belgium. Good afternoon to you, Paul.
Good afternoon, Nick. How are you today? Good afternoon, everyone.
I'm doing well. I'm doing well, Paul. Yourself?
I'm very well, very well.
Yeah. So Croatia against Belgium. Croatia currently top of Group F. That they're just ahead of Morocco on goal difference. Belgium, on the other hand, have really struggled throughout this World Cup, despite that slender victory against Canada in the opening match. They completely fell apart when Morocco beat them 2-0 in their last game. It's fair to say that Belgium have really got their backs up against the wall.
Yeah, it's out of their hands now. They need a win, and obviously they need to hope that Canada can upset Morocco. I mean, that's a tall order. There's also rumours coming out of the camp that there may be some issues there and a mole and everything else. This is definitely not what Belgium need in their World Cup in preparing for these games. It's going to be a tough ask for Belgium today. Croatia are a very, very strong side. But having said that, they've got the quality. When you've got somebody like Kevin De Bruyne in your midfield, he's just an outstanding player. He can change a game just on his own. It's a tough one to call today, Nick. I'm almost inclined to say it will be a draw, in which case Belgium will be going home.
Yes, quite. But what do you make to Croatia's performances in the group stage? Despite drawing in their opening game against Morocco, they completely swept aside Canada 4-1.
Well, they were given a little bit of extra motivation there. The Canadian coach, which I can't really repeat what he said on air, but he said that, let's put it this way, he said that they were going to, let's call it comprehensively beat Croatia. Let's use that phrase instead. They're unchanged today, of course, but they that gave them that extra bit of motivation. When coming into this tournament, I thought Croatia, they might be a bit old at this stage, but they've done very, very well. And I think that they'll get through this group, no problem. I think that they may well even top the group.
Indeed they might. And but before we go into lineups and further details, we'll now cross over to Russ Vernon for the team news between Canada and Morocco. Good afternoon, Russ.
Good afternoon, Nicholas. Good afternoon, Paul. Good afternoon, everybody. It's a wonderful day for this fantastic football that we all love in the World Cup. I get ready to watch the brilliant game between Canada and Morocco, hopefully, as I get to see a few goals in this game today. I can tell you, in the Al Thumama Stadium in Qatar. I'll run you through the starting lineups first, and I'll start off with the visitors, Morocco, and they line up with Bono between the sticks, Hakimi, Agurd, Saiss, Mazraoui across the back, Onas, Amrabat, and Sabri in midfield with Hakim Ziyech, El Nesri, and Boufal leading the line. As for Canada, they line up with Boyan between the sticks, Johnston, Victoria, Miller across the back, Agabeg, Osorio, Mark Anthony Kay, and Alphonso Davies in the midfield. And up front is Tejan Buchanan, Kyle Larin, and Junior Oilert. The referee today for our game is from Brazil, Ralph Klose, and he's assisted by Rodrigo Figueiredo, Danilo Simon, is also the assistants. They're both from Brazil. Japanese Yoshimi Yamashita is the fourth official. Reserve assistant referees Michael Ura from Peru. And on VAR today is Julio Bascoan from Chile. Juan Martinez is the assistant video referee. And then the three other assistants is Roberto Diaz Perez del Palmore from Espanyol, from Spain, shall I say. Leo Dan Gonzalez from Uruguay. And also from Spain on the standby assistant video referee is Pau Sebrin Davis. Roberto Diaz Palmore is the offside VAR, and the sport VAR is Leo Dan Gonzalez from Uruguay. Looking forward to this one, Nicholas. Should be a good one. Kick off in about 50 minutes' time. Canada against Morocco.
What I actually meant to ask you is what do Morocco have to do to unseat either Croatia or Belgium to qualify for the round of 16?
Well, Morocco, Nicholas, are just a point above Belgium on 4 points going into this game, with a win and a draw from their opening 2 matches. Croatia are top with 4 points as well, 1 win and a draw. So the best up for Morocco is a Morocco win against Canada, a Belgium win for Croatia, which would then see Morocco going through as group winners, Belgium in second, with Canada finishing bottom and Croatia going out in third. It's going to be a tall order for Belgium, though, I think. I think Morocco will go through, and I think Croatia may do it as well. But for me, I think it's going to be a tall order for that one, and I think it's going to be a good game. And I think Morocco may just do it. But if Belgium can get to a win as well, then Morocco will go through as good winners as long as they beat Canada this afternoon. Should be a good one, Nicholas. Kick-off is coming up at 3 o'clock UK time, and I'm looking forward to watching this one. It should be a good one this afternoon.
Thanks, Ross. We'll check it. Thanks, Ross. We'll be checking in with him with updates as the game goes on. Paul, we'll come over to you. What do you reckon the final score will be between Croatia and Belgium?
Between Croatia and Belgium, I'm inclined to think it's a draw. I'm gonna go with 1-1.
Okay. So one each. But bear in mind what Russ said. If Croatia do at least get a draw, and Morocco Morocco win, that could well throw their qualification prospects completely off course.
Yeah, I think in the other game, I think as desperate as Canada will be now for a win, the pressure is off them now. They're already eliminated. I think, but I actually think Morocco have too much quality for Canada, and I think Morocco will win that one. I'd say by 2-0, maybe 2 or 2-1. But that will put Morocco top of the group, and it will leave Croatia in second place on goal different. Well, yeah, leave Croatia in second place on a point ahead of Belgium. But I that's the way I see it playing out. I'm just in this World Cup. Some of my predictions for games have kind of come true, but I'm about 50-50, so I could be wrong.
Indeed. But in terms of players scoring, who do you reckon will be the scorers from either side?
Well, this is a tough one. Ivan Perisic has 33 goals. Luka Modric, of course, has got 37. They are both. Perisic has 32 goals. Luka Modric has 23 goals. It's difficult to say. Like they've got firepower up there, and of course they've got creativity. Perisic, we all know what he's capable of. Modric as well. Kovacic is capable of scoring goals. We've seen that in the Premier League before. Very difficult to predict the scorer, Ross. Nick. yeah, you could look at Kramaric, Perisic, or Luka Modric or Kovacic are all capable of putting the ball in the net. For Belgium, without Eden Hazard, and that is a big loss, and no Romelu Lukaku, you're talking over 100 goals between those two. I think they've got to be looking at Mertens, Meunier, De Bruyne are all capable of putting the ball in the net. Trossard has scored a few goals for Brighton this season. So there's options there available, but very difficult to predict a goal scorer.
Okay, thank you for now, Paul. We'll now go through the. We're now going to run you through the starting lineups. Starting with Croatia with number 1 Dominik Livakovic in goal, number 6 Dejan Lovren, number 19 Borna Sosa, number 20 Josko Gvardiol, number 22 Josip Juranovic, number 8 Mateo Kovacic, number 10 the captain Luka Modric, number 11 Marcelo Brozovic, number 4 Ivan Perisic, number 9 Andrej Kramaric, and number 14 Marco Livaya. For Belgium in goal, making his 100th appearance for the national side, Thibaut Courtois. Number 2, Toby Alderweireld. Number 5, Jan Vertonghen. Number 19, Leander de Donker. Number 6, Axel Witsel. Number 7, Kevin De Bruyne, the captain. Number 15, Thomas Meunier. Number 21, Timothy Castagne. Number 11, Yannick Carrasco. Number 14, Dries Mertens. Number 17, Leandro Trossard. So the team's now gathering around at the foot of the tunnel at the Ahmed bin Ali Stadium, which is where the game is taking place. The pre-match ceremonies are now drawing to a close. The fireworks display going around the giant World Cup in the centre of the pitch. Both teams' national flags displayed around either side of the goals, and if you're a non-football fan but love going to matches, then that is a spectacle to see. Our referee is Anthony Taylor. He's a regular referee in the Premier League. So listeners living in the UK or English-speaking countries will be familiar with him. Assistant referee Gary Beswick and his other assistant referee Adam Nunn. Fourth official Istvan Kovacic of Romania will announce any further match officials a little later on. So both Croatia and Belgium standing firm at the foot of the tunnel, and as we mentioned earlier, Belgium on the back foot. They have it. Belgium on the back foot. They have it all to do, and only a win can virtually guarantee them safety now. So the players getting ready to move out on the move out on the centre of the field, and we can now, the fans have now fully have likely assembled inside the stadium. Roberto Martinez, the Belgian manager, has quoted the team as being the golden generation, but is this golden generation now past their prime? Kevin De Bruyne has commented himself, saying that he and the team are too old to have a chance of winning the World Cup. We'll get Paul's feelings on that one in just a moment or two. So the players now walking around out onto the centre of the field, and we get ready to prepare for the national anthems, and the players have now fully assembled around the pitch, and soon about now, we have the national anthem. So a bit of a good luck hug between the two managers, Martinez and his Croatian counterparts. And we now stand and we now pause for the national anthem of Croatia.
Final match
Of Croatia. Both national anthems of Croatia and Belgium sung by the players, management, and fans. Just found out that Croatia's manager is Zlatko Dalic, the first head coach of Croatia to take charge at 2 World Cups. He led the team to the World Cup final 4 years ago. Croatia are going for a 4-1-2-3 formation with Livakovic in goal, Sosa and Vardio making up the back four, and the player that should Perisic and Kramaric should have a chance at goal. So the lineup in full: Livakovic in goal, Sosa, Vardio, Lovren, and Juranovic the back four, Kovacic and Brozovic and Modric in midfield, Perisic, Livaya, and Kramaric the 3 forwards. Croatia would likely be the sort of overwhelming favourites in this one. As we've already mentioned, Anthony Taylor is our referee with Beswick and Nunn. His assistant is Vankovic, the fourth, and the fifth official reserve assistant referee, I should say, is Mihai Artene, also of Romania. Both Modric and De Bruyne going through the handshake procedures, and in the VAR booth, it's Marco Fritz, the video assistant referee, and his assistant is Tomasz Kwiatkowski of Poland. The offside video assistant referee is Raphael Fulton of Germany. Assistant video assistant referee is Benoit Milo of France. And the standby assistant VAR is Jan Seidel of Germany. Belgium are going in a 3-4-3 format. Are playing in a 3-4-3 formation with Thibaut Courtois in goal. Then we have the back three of Vertonghen and De Donker, Castagne, De Bruyne, Witsel, and so on and so forth, with Martens and Martens and Trossard, the 3 forwards. So for Luka Modric, his 15th World Cup appearance. Will he make this a good one to remember? And as for Thibaut Courtois reaching his century for Belgium, will this be a special occasion for him? What a time for Courtois to have his century, because Belgium, as I said, have it all to do. It looks like it will be Belgium that will kick us off. Belgium are wearing a red shirt with the black sleeves and the red stripes. Croatia decked out in their checkered red and white, and it will be Croatia to kick us off as we edge towards the start towards the start of the match. Looks like it'll be Livia to kick us off, and we're underway for this crucial match between Croatia and Belgium at the Ahmed bin Ali Stadium, and already Croatia was straight into it. By the looks of it, that looked like an early attack by Ivan Perisic, but the ball was just too wide off the post, and already it's throwing to Croatia, and the ball still remains with the Czech Army. It's with Lovren passing to Livakovic in goal. Now the ball's been passed to Borna Sosa, and now the ball still with Croatia, but Belgium still looking to bring it back. But Croatia now have it through. I think that was Perisic. Now it's with Kramaric. Kramaric. Could Croatia score early on? Cross in by Juranovic, but kept out by Belgium. And you have to say, Paul, Croatia were really full of beans at the start of the game.
In the game to Belgium early on, but also at the same time, Belgium look asleep at the moment.
I wonder if they haven't had their coffee yet. But it's Belgium currently with the ball. Now it's been passed back to Croatia. The ball is now with Livia, but Belgium have taken the ball away, and the ball is now currently with Trossard. Trossard now passing to Witsel, but intercepted by Croatia. Ball's now with Modric, but he loses it to Carrasco. Carrasco now passing the ball around, but it's straight back to Carrasco. This is what Belgium need to do: score early on and get at least a couple of more goals to win. But Croatia still seeing to that, and it's now Alderweireld for Belgium, but he's passed back in goal to Courtois, and now the ball is with Jan Vertonghen, the ex-Tottenham Hotspur man. Now the ball being passed around to, I think that was Dodonka. Dodonka now passing down the wing to Vertonghen, and now the ball is with Castagne. Castagne to Vertonghen. Now the ball is with I think that was Dodonka. Dodonka. Now the ball's being crossed forward to, I think that was Trossard, but almost defended by Gvardiol, but given away to Croatia this time, and a throw in early on to I think that was as Belgium, and we've got a goal in the other game between Canada and Morocco. Ross Vernon.
Yes, Nicholas, it's gone to Morocco. It's a poor clearance by the goalkeeper of Canada. It was a poor back pass as well from Victoria back to Bojan. He cleared it straight to Hakim Ziyech, who from around about 25 yards out fired it past the goalkeeper, lifted over the goalkeeper, rushing back towards his goal and into the back of the empty net. It's Canada 0, Morocco 1, 5 minutes gone.
Thank you, Russ. And Carrasco and Carrasco did well, and I think that was an attempt by Carrasco, but it was well halted by Croatia. Alderweireld clearing the ball away out of the Belgium goal, but he manages to pass it to De Bruyne, and De Bruyne has found Yannick Carrasco, and Carrasco now inside the 18-yard box. Are Croatia starting to feel the pressure a bit? It's now with De Bruyne. To Axel Witsel now, and now standing over the ball is, I think, Trossard, but conceded to Croatia. And Paul, Croatia appear to have woken up. Although, just as I say that, Morocco will top Group F if things stay as they are, with Croatia in second. Like I was about to tell you, Belgium appears to have woken up somehow.
Yeah, just a poor ball into the box there. But it's nice to see that Belgium, yes, now have woken up and are starting to try to create something, because they have to win this game if they hope to go through.
They certainly do. And the ball is now being crossed down wing to Yannick Carrasco. Carrasco now passing to that was Timothy Castagne. Castagne back now to Mertens now towards back to Carrasco, I should say. Carrasco passes back to Castagne, and Castagne now crossing to Vertonghen. Vertonghen now Alderweireld back to Vertonghen, and Vertonghen now passes to Castagne. They're doing all they can to try and throw Croatia off, although Modric was now getting close to the ball. I think that was Perisic also almost towering over it as well. But Belgium still managing to hold on at this early stage. As we approach the 6th minute, it's still Croatia 0, Belgium 0. And you're listening to the Commentary Hub with Nicholas Jones and Paul James, and a yellow card for Canada, Russ Vernon.
Yes, Nicholas, and it's Junior Eilert who has picked up that yellow card. It was a bad challenge on the number 8 of Morocco, Rani, who was breaking forward for the Moroccans, and Junior Eilert had to take him down, and it's a free kick to Morocco in a good position here, and it's a yellow card for Junior Eilert. It's a good shooting opportunity here for Morocco if they can take this on here. It remains 1-0 to Morocco, 8 minutes gone. There's a free kick run about 25 yards out. We saw one from around about here yesterday, 25, 30 yards out from goal yesterday, which was scored into the top corner. You may remember in the evening matches in the Saudi Arabia game yesterday, Nicholas, and we could see another one here replicated as a shot comes in from the number 11. Sabri, and he deflects behind for an early corner. Canada 0, Morocco 1. Almost 8.5 minutes gone here, Nick.
Thank you, Ross. And it's still Croatia, and still Croatia have the ball despite some advances from Belgium. It looks like Croatia might be starting to make a break for it, but Axel Witsel does well to intercept for Belgium. Now the ball has been deflected back to Croatia, but still right at this moment, it's still difficult to see. It's still difficult to see who's on top at the moment, and a throw-in has been awarded to Croatia to be taken by Josip Juranovic, I should say, and Juranovic now throws to. Was aiming for. I think that was Livaya, but Belgium did well to see to that. Now the ball has been cleared forward by Thomas Meunier. Meunier losing the ball to Josip Gvardiol. Gvardiol now to Dejan Lovren, and Lovren now passing down back to Livakovic in goal, and the ball's now been struck by the head of Witsel, but that's a poor giveaway to Croatia. Croatia still managing to hold on, but Belgium appear to have capitalised for their mistakes. I do try and take it back, but that was a foul on Leandro Trossard, and it was by Gvardiol. Paul, what's your take on it?
Yeah, he's just climbing all over him there, and yeah, he gets the ball, but not before he's climbed all over the player.
Belgium still in play with the ball, and after just over 8.5 minutes, it's Croatia 0, Belgium 0. The ball is now with Meunier. Meunier now passing it to I think that's Alderweireld. Alderweireld now passes to Vertonghen, who's just over the centre line. Now the ball has been passed around again to Castagne. Castagne. Now the ball has been passed down to Carrasco. Carrasco. Is this a chance for an early shot? No, it isn't. And Croatia and Croatia do well to see to that one. But a really good opportunity for a setup by Carrasco.
Yeah, cut inside there, got the shot away. It was a good block. Croatia just seemed to have taken their foot off the pedal a bit after starting at 100 mile an hour, really. But yeah, it's good work by Belgium. They're getting themselves back into this game now.
Yeah, it seems like they are, and that was another attempt by Belgium, but saved by Livakovic, and Croatia and Croatia need to start piling on the pressure a bit more. They appear to have started to run out of steam somewhat. So so they'll need to build up some more as I think they've conceded a throw into Belgium. Roberto Martinez, the Belgian manager, looks very happy, but as I mentioned a few minutes ago, as things stand right now, it won't be enough to send Belgium through to the round of 16. They'll still remain third, with Croatia in second, Morocco on top, and Belgium now have the ball being pressed further forward, and the ball is now with Mertens. Mertens looking for Carrasco. He's found Carrasco. He's almost inside the 6-yard box, but well deflected away by the actions of Juranovic and Livakovic. But you have to say Belgium are starting to get ever and ever closer.
Yeah, they're turning the screws a bit. He's a bit unlucky. The ball was a bit wider, Carrasco. Had it been more to his feet, he would have had a better chance of a shot on goal, because getting the shot away from there is a very, very tight angle. It's a good save by the goalkeeper, though.
Corner now to Belgium, but headed away by Croatia. It's now with Meunier. Meunier passing back down to Courtois in goal, and Courtois boots it forward to Kevin De Bruyne. Although De Bruyne appears to have been pushed around by Gvardiol, and whatever he's done, whatever he did, it's given the ball to Croatia. Croatia now back in play. It's the ball is now with Dejan Lovren. Lovren trying to pass to Juranovic and succeeding this time. Now the ball is with Perisic. Perisic passing the ball back around. So I think that was Juranovic. Now the ball is found Brozovic, but it's now being rocketed around, being passed around like a pinball, and the ball is now found Andrej Kramaric. Kramaric now passing back to Brozovic. Now it's gone back to Kramaric. Now it's with Brozovic. Brozovic back towards Kramaric, I think. But now the ball's being crossed down the wing to Juranovic, and Juranovic now looking for was looking for Kramaric, but headed away by Belgium. And Belgium now looking to take advantage, and it's back with Kevin De Bruyne. De Bruyne now edging towards the 18-yard box, and the ball was with Dries Mertens, but he shoots over the crossbar, and I'd have to say that was a poorly timed, and I have to say that shot was poorly timed.
I would agree with you, Nick, entirely. It was a poor finish, one I would expect better from, because that's a real clear-cut chance right there.
Yes, it certainly is, and Roberto Martinez, despite the initial disappointed, he seems satisfied with how Belgium are performing so far. Croatia need to start stoking the fires and get themselves back up to speed. if they are to I guess even closer to Belgium. And I think that was a foul by Axel Witsel. Just going to take a look at it again. Yes, indeed, it was Witsel, and it was on Mateo Kovacic. And that has given a free kick to Croatia. Croatia to take the free kick through Luka Modric. This is I think the first real big chance for Croatia to get themselves in front, and Modric kicks the ball into the 18-yard box, almost headed clear by Vertonghen. Now the ball is with Carrasco, and I think that was another attempt by Croatia, but I think Carrasco's actions resulted in a player being fouled. We'll have Paul's thoughts on that in a moment, but a chance each for both Canada and Morocco, Russ.
Yes, Nicholas. First of all, it was for Canada. Brilliant play down the right-hand side from Alphonso Davies. He whipped a wonderful ball across, and Buchanan couldn't go on end of it to the far post to turn it into the back of the net. Down to the other end, a ball for Hakim Ziyech, whose shot couldn't trouble the goalkeeper. Boran in the Canadian goal. He's 16 and a bit minutes gone, almost coming up towards 17 minutes gone at the moment.
Have to stop you for a minute, Ross. It's a penalty to Croatia. Penalty given to Croatia. We'll get back to you in a moment. And I think that was for an incident on Andrej Kramaric. And it's given Luka Modric the chance to put Croatia in front. And I think it was Vertonghen that fouled him. We'll have Paul's thoughts of this in just a while, as Modric Modric stands behind the ball, call as you like. The referee Anthony Taylor, and it's actually a VAR check. I do apologise. It's going to a VAR check. We'll keep you informed with what the final situation is. But that incident on Kramaric, Paul, do you think it's a penalty? And in fact, the referee is going to the VAR screen to take a look. But what's your thoughts, please? A penalty?
Well, no. He did it. He went down without any contact. It may be looked at for offside leading up to the play, but I don't think there was any contact.
Not sure if there was any contact. I mean, I think if I did look at it at a closer angle on my monitor, and I think Vertonghen might have been involved. We'll take a further look at this one, but that to me is but to go to a VAR review like that is completely shocking, because I think this is something that could have been resolved at a much quicker rate. It hasn't, and just calls into question how reliable VAR actually is. And Anthony Taylor comes back onto the pitch. I think he's made a decision, and what's the outcome? I can't tell through his body language, and sorry, what did you say?
It looks like it might be offside.
And in fact, no penalty has been given. It's offside. You were right to call that one, Paul. So at this moment in time, it's still Croatia 0, Belgium 0, and we're going to have to apologise to Russ for interrupting him earlier on. So what was the what was the other chance before I called what was initially a penalty?
The other chance, Nick, was a shot just over the bar from Hakim Ziyech. We didn't really trouble Boran in the Moroccan goal. And since you was last with me when you were discussing that incident there, Morocco have had to defend a few times. The free kick's just been given to Canada, which is just playing around at the back. 20 minutes gone in, Nick. He's still 1-0 to Morocco, and that's a poor crossfield pass from Johnston to try and pick out Agurd, the left back, across the far side, left wing back. So that's a poor cross. There we remain Canada 0, Morocco 1.
Vardiol now with the ball. He's passed down to Dejan Lovren. Croatia will be slightly stung by. Will be feeling slightly stung by this decision not to be given a penalty, but they need to make up for this and fast. But Belgium still holding firm right at this moment in time. It's Leandro Trossard to Mertens. Now back to Trossard, almost intercepted by Croatia. Now it's been given to I think it's Lovren. Lovren now to Modric. Modric trying to hold off Castagne, but failing to do so far. But failed to do so. I think Lovren might have been involved as well, and that's the check. And just having the check of what we know already, and clearly, I think Krameric's arm was offside. Would you say that the offside decision given was the right one?
Yeah, I think that's the first port of call, isn't it? You go to the offside first, and then you look at whether or not there was contact. I didn't think there was contact, actually, but the first call would be the offside. And given the rules, and I don't like this, where you're looking at things like fingers and arms that are offside. I think it gets a little bit silly. I've said my say on VAR yesterday. I'm not going to get into that now, but it's the correct decision was made. Let's put it that way.
Okay, now Modric now back with the ball for Croatia. He's passed to Brozovic. Brozovic now passed up the wing to, I think that was Lovren. Lovren looking to find a gap looking to find a gap, and I think he's found it with Kramaric. And Kramaric now needs to line up the shot. Can't quite do it. I'm actually very surprised at Croatia's performance, because I thought given their recent form, they were going to easily find their way past Belgium. But Belgium appeared to have finally got their mojo back, which is good, and for them at least. And it's with Trossard passing now to Axel Witsel. Witsel now passes down the wing to Castagne. Castagne now back towards Witsel. Witsel to De Bruyne. De Bruyne back towards Witsel. Now the ball is with Alderweireld. And Alderweireld now passing the ball around to Vertonghen, and now back to Castagne. Castagne now to Carrasco, but cut out by Josip Juranovic. So 22 minutes gone. It's still Croatia 0, Belgium 0. And you're listening to the Commentary Hub with Nicholas Jones and Paul James. But just as I say that, a goal has come in from the Canada-Morocco game. Russ Vernon.
Yes, Nicholas is gone to Morocco again. It's Canada 0, Morocco 2. A wonderful ball down the right-hand side from Ashraf Hakimi. He played it into Yusuf Nesri, who ran into the penalty area and slotted it beyond goal and at his near post. The goalkeeper should have done better, but he has scored 2 World Cups now. Yusuf Nesri, Canada 0, Morocco 2. 24 minutes gone.
That's right, and now the ball is with Leander de Donker. Leander de Donker to De Bruyne, but it's given away to Gvardiol for Croatia. Now it's back with now it was momentarily with, I think, Sosa, but now it's been passed around up the field to still with Croatia. It was almost passed towards Perisic, but easily dealt with by Alderweireld and Romelu Lukaku and Eden Hazard. They look they're having a bit of a laugh and a joke with each other, but to me they look somewhat annoyed that that they're not on the pitch. It's Lovren to I think that was Sosa. Now back to Lovren, and Lovren now trying to pass up the field, but can't quite do so at the moment. Now the ball is with Juranovic. Juranovic still keeps the ball with Croatia, but it's been given away to Belgium. Now the ball's been picked up back by Courtois, and now the ball has been passed around to the Tongans. So it's still whilst neither side appears to have scored, which side would you say has had the more possession, Paul?
Well, it's a tough call to make because the first sort of 10 minutes belonged to Croatia. They were turning the screws on Belgium early, created a couple of opportunities as well. Belgium have come back into it in this game as the game has progressed, and they've created one or two chances of their own. It's very much in the balance right now. And at the moment, I'd say Belgium are the better team.
And right now, as things stand, it's still as it was some 10 minutes ago. Morocco will top Group F with Croatia in second place. Belgium will be going out in third place if things stay as they are currently. But it's Witsel now with the ball for Belgium, looking to set up somebody in the 18-yard box, but easily dealt with by Croatia. Headed by Perisic, back to Livakovic. Headed back to Livakovic in the goal. Now the ball has been cleared away. This time to Borna Sosa, and it's Sosa for Croatia. Now back towards Dejan Lovren, or was it? It was actually going to Juranovic. Now it's been passed back to Lovren, and Lovren this time passes to Jovanovic. Now it's with Modric. Modric trying to go around Witsel, but Modric feels he has no choice but to cross further forward, and he's done that to I think that was Kramaric. It's now Kramaric with the ball, but almost conceded, I should say, to Leander Dodonka. But Croatia are still knocking on the door of the 18-yard box, and the ball has now found its way to Brozovic. Now to I think that must have been Kovacic. Now to Ivan Perisic, but slammed away by Thomas Meunier, and we'll wait to see what comes next. And it is a corner to Croatia. They failed to take advantage of their free kick. Can they do so from this corner, Paul?
Well, who knows? If this is the first real chance they've created in a while, first time they've had some sustained possession. So we'll see.
It'll be Modric to take the corner for the checkered army. At least that's what I think they called. If you do know their real nickname, do please let me know in the comments. As Modric strikes the ball into the 18-yard box, headed away by Witsel, and it still remains goalless between Croatia and Belgium. Although Croatia are still looking to try and change that, and the ball has now been crossed forward, but there's nobody there, and it looks like it'll be another throw in to Belgium, and the Croatia head coach Zlatko Dalic walking around, looking very nonplussed and disinterested at the moment. Now the ball has been thrown around to Gvardiol. Now to Lovren, back to Gvardiol, and it's Gvardiol now for Croatia. He's passed the ball around to, I think that was Kovacic. Now it's been crossed back down to Lovren. Lovren crosses down the wing, I should say, to Juranovic, but it's almost intercepted by Belgium, and I think a throw-in. Will be given to Belgium. I think it was. No, it was Croatia. And so it's Lovren. So it's Lovren now passing up the wing, I should say, to Gvardiol. Now the ball is found. I think that was Sosa. Sosa now with the ball, and he crosses down the wing to I think that's Lovren again. Now the ball is it's with Kramaric. Kramaric now with the ball for Croatia, and he passes back to Lovren, and Lovren now crosses down wing to, I think that was Modric, but Modric is offside. He's offside. We'll check to see where he went offside in a moment or two. I think it was because Juranovic. I think it might have been because Juranovic mistimed his move. What do you reckon? What do you reckon to the offside decision, Paul?
Well, it's the right decision, but it's interesting to see how they were very quick with that one, wasn't there? They wasn't quite so with the penalty decision, as you pointed out earlier. But yeah, for me, it was offside, just by a small amount. It wasn't massively offside, but it looks like you said, the timing of the run just wasn't quite right there.
Okay, so Juranovic's slip up could well have cost them that time. But a yellow card for Canada, Russ Vernon.
Yes, Nicholas, and it was Jonathan Osara who picked up the yellow card. It was the tackle from him was a very harsh one on Amrabat, and the referee had no choice but to give him a yellow card. Morocco then tried to get the ball forward to Enesri, who was just in an offside position and just a couple of minutes to go, but he remains Canada 0, Morocco 2, Nick. 31 minutes gone.
It's all happening over there. It's all happening over there at the moment, and it's also still getting rather exciting here too, as Mounier now has control of the ball for Belgium, and he's passed down to Axel Witsel. Now the ball has been passed to that looks like Timothy Castagnet. Now it's with Yannick Carrasco. Carrasco now passing to, I think that was the Castagnet. Now it's Castagnet back to Carrasco. Carrasco now passing the ball around to Jan Vertonghen. Vertonghen now to Toby Alderweireld, and it's Alderweireld now passing up the wing to I think that was Mounier. Now Mounier back to Witsel. Now the ball is once again with Castagnet. Castagnet to Carrasco, but he's under pressure from Karamarich. But he does well to pass to De Bruyne, and De Bruyne has to hold on. He almost did, but the ball is still with Belgium. It's Alderweireld now to Axel Witsel, and Witsel now passing to Trossard. Trossard now back to I think that's Mertens, and Mertens tries to set up an attack, but it's been poorly given away to Croatia, and it's now Kramaric, and it's now Kramaric with the ball. Croatia are now reversing to the sort of throw everything at them, which is what I was expecting Belgium to do, but no, it appears the tables have turned, kind of like what I experienced kind of like what I saw last night between Saudi Arabia and Mexico. Although that said, Croatia are now starting to edge forward closer towards the 18-yard box, dealt with really well by Belgium, and Roberto Martinez has every reason to be happy, Paul.
Yeah, absolutely. Belgium have been the better side for most of this first half. They're defending quite well. Croatia are finding it hard to break through the Belgian defence. And at the moment, for Belgium, I would say let's bring Kevin De Bruyne more into the game.
Looks like that may well be the case in the second half, as Croatia now looking for another chance in the 18-yard box. That was off Brozovic, but Belgium still defending really well with that one, and almost and a bit of a clumsy setup at goal by Croatia. To me, that opportunity didn't look like it was there.
Yeah, it was right on there. He gets an excellent crossing, and it's a superb. He gets up there, the Croatian number 10 Modric, and he just doesn't get his head over the ball. It lands on top of his head and it goes over the crossbar. Gets his head over the ball, gets a good head on that, and that could make Thibaut Courtois work.
It certainly did, and we've also had a chance for Morocco. Russ Vernon.
Yes, Nicholas, and it was a wonderful play down the right hand side from Morocco. Ball came in, and just as Bouffals came in from the left hand side, he took it off Sabre, who was about to have a shot. His shot was blocked, Bouffals, and then he come to clear it away. We've just had a brief stoppage as the technical equipment wasn't working, but that's now back up and running. It's Canada Morocco 2, and we've got 10 minutes to go until half time.
Trossard has had the total number of receptions between midfield and defensive lines. I think that was with 8. Now it's Vertonghen to Alderweireld. Alderweireld now passing to what looks to be Castagne. Castagne now with the ball. I think he passed back to Meunier. Now it's with Carrasco. Carrasco to I think that was Mertens, and Martinez throws the ball back to I think that was Castagne. So the ball is still in play. With just almost 10 minutes to go. It's still Croatia 0, Belgium 0, and of course there could well be a bit of a lengthy period of stoppage time because of that VAR dispute. And it's now Witsel to Carrasco. Carrasco now entering the 18-yard box, a cross in, but headed away by Belgium. They're still looking for that first one, Belgium, and it's Meunier now trying to get round that Croatian defender, but it was a long range shot from it that just wasn't there, or was it a poorly timed cross? You decide, Paul James.
Well, it looked like he was caught between the cross and the shot type situation there. In the end, it was basically neither, and a poor finish in the end.
Yes, it certainly was, and Belgium now looking to take the ball back, but Croatia, but play was halted for a moment or two, but it's now resumed, and it's still Belgium with the ball. I think that was off De Bruyne, but it was given away to I think that was Juranovic, and the ball will be cleared away by Livakovic. In fact, he actually passed it to one of his defenders. That could well have been Lovren. Now the ball is with Luka Modric. Modric now passing down the wing to Lovren, and now it's gone back towards Juranovic. And Juranovic now once again to Modric, and Modric now passing to, I think that was Brozovic. But Belgium have now taken it back through Leandro Trossard, and Trossard now trying to pass to, I think that was Mertens, but held by Croatia, and Croatia now looking to make a break up front. The ball is now currently with, I think Kramaric, or is it? Yes, it is Kramaric, and Kramaric now doing a long range cross to Ivan Perisic, although he has to hold off Thomas Meunier. He doesn't. He almost does it, but the referee has called a halt to proceedings, and I think that was for something I did not see, and that was the slide tackle from Perisic. But either way, it's given a throw into Belgium, headed by De Bruyne. Now back to Meunier, and Meunier ships the ball up into the air towards I think that was Mertens. Mertens now passing to, I think that was Trossard, but almost nicked by Croatia. And Croatia now have the ball back through I think that's Modric. Now the ball has been passed around to I think that was Brozovic. Now it's back with Brozovic. Now it's back with, I think that was Kovacic. Now back to Brozovic, and Brozovic now has no choice but to pass to his teammate. Now the ball has been passed to Vardiol. Vardiol now towards Lovren. And Lovren now looking for Lovren now has to pass it back to Livakovic in the Croatia goal. So 38 minutes have been played now. It's still Croatia 0, Belgium 0, and the ball is intercepted by Belgium. Now it's almost given to I think that was Carrasco, but Croatia still having to take the ball, trying to take the ball back, and the ball is going every way. The ball is going every which way you like. I cannot keep up, and I think it's going to be a free kick by the looks of it to Belgium, I think, or is it going to be to Croatia? That looked like Brozovic went down all of a sudden, but play still goes on, and Croatia doing really well to keep the ball in play. It's now passed to Livakovic. Livakovic now passes the ball out to Lovren. And Dejan Lovren now passes the ball to, I think that was Kramaric, but nothing doing so far. And the ball's now been passed out of the goal by Courtois to Alderweireld to, I think that's Alderweireld. No, it isn't. It's Dodonka. Dodonka to Alderweireld. Yes, now back to Alderweireld. Now it's passed down the wing to Jan Vertonghen. So Vertonghen now with the ball, and another goal in the Canada-Morocco game. Russ Vernon.
Yes, Nicholas, and he's gone to Canada this time. It's a fantastic ball across from the good bird, the left wing back. He played the ball into the near post and it was deflected into his own net by a Gerd to make it 2-1 to Morocco. 41 minutes gone. Canada have just got a corner, but is Canada 1, Morocco 2, Nicholas?
Thank you, Russ. And the ball now passed out of goal by Livakovic. Livakovic now to, I think that's Lovren, and Lovren gives the ball away to Belgium. That was rather foolish. Now it's with Castagnier back to Carrasco. Carrasco now passing the ball to, I think that was Meunier. Now back to Castagnier. Castagnier now finds Jan Vertonghen, and Vertonghen now passes to Alderweireld. It's Alderweireld now with the ball, passes up the wing to Meunier, and Meunier now passing down to Alderweireld. Alderweireld now to Jan Vertonghen. Now the ball is found Timothy Castagnier. Now back to Vertonghen, and Vertonghen now passes down the wing to I think that was Trossard. Now the ball is back. The ball was with Castagnier. Now it's gone further up the field to Meunier. De Bruyne back towards Meunier, and Meunier now passing again to De Bruyne. Now it's been passed back down the wing to Alderweireld. Alderweireld to Castagnier. Castagnier now to I think that's Trossard. Now it's with Dodonka. Now the ball has been passed around back to Dodonka. Dodonka inside the 18-yard box, straight now to that was Mertens, and really close. And Belgium came really close to opening the score for that one, Paul.
Yeah, that was a good ball into the middle too. I just as he gets it on the corner of the 6-yard box there, I just wonder whether he was expecting it, because when he struck it first time, obviously it just trickled across the face of the 6-yard box. So I just wonder whether he was expecting that. And that might have took him by surprise there.
Yes, it certainly might have done, and it's now Alderweireld with the ball, and he's passed again to Dodonka. Now he's passed back up towards Meunier. Now back to Dodonka, and Dodonka has now managed to pass back to Alderweireld. He's passed again to Vertonghen, but Vertonghen passes back to Courtois. And it's now, but as things stand right now in terms of the group, it's still going to be Morocco ahead it's going to be Morocco still ahead in Group F. We'll check to see who will be in second place in a moment or two, as Castagnier gets ready to throw the ball out of goal, and it's still Belgium, and it will still be Belgium in third place with still with 4 points. Actually, with 4 points, and Canada will still be right at the bottom. We'll keep checking in with the Group F table we'll keep checking with the Group F table as and when we can throughout the remainder of our coverage. As Courtois now clears the ball out of goal to Carrasco, but it's a long range miss, and it will be a Croatia throw in. So Croatia take the ball for the throw, but it's been given away to Vertonghen of Belgium. Now it's with Axel Witsel and Modric shouting about something which I did not see. So it's Alderweireld to Vertonghen. Now the ball is with Leandro Dodonka. Dodonka now to Carrasco, and Carrasco now passing up the field to Kevin De Bruyne, straight into the 18-yard box, saved by Dominic Livakovic. I couldn't see the Belgian player was that was inside the box. I can actually discern that it was that it was Dries Mertens, and Mertens so unlucky not to put that one in.
Well, it was wonderful work by Kevin De Bruyne, but this is what Kevin De Bruyne does best. What a shame there wasn't anybody there to attack that, because the ball across the box was a pretty decent ball.
Yes, certainly. And now the ball is back with Croatia. It's now with the ball is now with Kramaric. Kramaric now to I think that was I think that might have been Sosa, but so we'll just have to see. Now the ball is with now the ball once again. A shot forward by Croatia, and that was by Sosa. But in my view, he was too far back. He should. But in my view, he was too far back. He should have set up somebody close. He should have set up somebody closer to goal, Paul.
Yeah, it was a speculative effort. It might have been better just lifting that ball into the box to see if he could create a chance that way.
4 minutes have been added on in this game. 4 minutes have been added on in this game between Croatia and Belgium, which currently stands at 0-0 as De Bruyne now has the ball and he's passed around to Alderweireld. Now back to De Bruyne. De Bruyne now crossing down the wing to I think that's Jan Vertonghen. Vertonghen now to I think that's Meunier. Meunier now finding Yannick Carrasco, and Carrasco trying to cross forward to Leandro Trossard, but saved by Livakovic. And it's Croatia, and it's Croatia now back in play. Ball now being crossed forward to Ivan Perisic, and Perisic fails to keep it in play, and I think that will be a throw in to Belgium to be taken by Thomas Meunier. Meunier throwing to Witsel, but given away to Croatia, saved at the last moment by Castagne. Castagne tries to cross forward, but it's been given back to Croatia. And now the ball is with Andrej Kramaric. Kramaric now to I think that was Modric. Now it's been sent back to Kramaric, and I think that'll be a throw in to Belgium. Indeed, it is. It'll be taken by Timothy Castagne, and we now get and we just had reports of a goal, but it was disallowed for offside, Russ.
Yes, and it was for Morocco. It would have been 3-1, but Nesri's effort, which would have been his second goal over the game, was disallowed for offside against Aguerd, who was in the goalkeeper's eye line. But when the shot came in, it wasn't in the goalkeeper's eye line. He ran across the goalkeeper after the shot had come in from Nesri, but he was in the goalkeeper's eye line as the ball in the back of the net. That's why it's been disallowed, Nicholas. It means Canada 1, Morocco 2. We've played almost 4 of the 5 added minutes into this first half. It's Canada 1, Morocco 2, Nicholas.
Okay, we'll have Ross's half. We'll have a report from Ross on the first half between Morocco and Canada during the halftime break. But meantime, Mateo Kovacic has been brought down by Dodonka. I think. Yes, indeed, it was. What do you make of this challenge, Paul?
Oh, it's late. He's going over the halfway line. He's in full flight. Some referees might have booked him for that. I think referees are trying to keep their cards in their pocket more now, but definitely a free kick.
Okay, we've now entered the penultimate minutes of first half stoppage time. I'm surprised it's 4 minutes. I thought it was going to be a bit longer than that. We'll have Paul's thoughts on that We'll have Paul's thoughts on that a bit later on, as it's now Ivan Perisic for Croatia. He looked like he was trying to press on and set up an attack, but it was well held by Dodonka. And the throw in to Croatia dealt with by I think Brozovic. Brozovic now I think that was Kovacic. Now it's with Modric, and Modric now passing the ball to Juranovic. Juranovic finds Kramaric and a bicycle cross, but it doesn't go in, and Perisic unlucky to miss that one. Croatia looking to go for another opportunity. Witsel goes down in the 18-yard box, and a shot just over the crossbar by Josip Juranovic, and that could well be the last kick of the game. Indeed, it is half time, and before we go into a more general review of the first half, you have to say, Paul, really unlucky on Juranovic's part.
Yeah, he had a little bit more time than he probably realised. He struck that shot, and it just cleared the crossbar. Probably the best chance for Croatia in the entire half, to be fair.
Yes, I'd have to say it was. But as things stand at half time, it's still Morocco on top with 7. Croatia still doing enough to qualify on second with 5. And Belgium still remain in third with 4. They need a handful of goals or more to qualify for the next round. And Canada, as we know, are completely out of it, still rooted to the bottom with 0. So before we discuss the main action between Croatia and Belgium, your first half thoughts on Canada v Morocco, Russ.
Yes, Nicholas, has been a fantastic watch. It's half time here. Canada 1, Morocco 2 is the score at half time. The first goal came after a mistake by the centre back Victoria for Canada. He tried to play back to his goalkeeper. Goalkeeper took an heavy touch. He landed at the feet of Hakim Ziyech, who made it 1-0 to Morocco. That was after 4 minutes. On 23 minutes, it was 2-0 after Yusuf Nesri got into the penalty after a ball forward from Ashraf Hakimi, who fired it, and then he fired it beyond the goalkeeper to make it 2-0. Then it was an own goal just before half time when Nafef Agir turned past Agerberg's cross from the left hand side into his own net. And Nesri had a goal chalked off for offside in the first half, stoppage time as well. But at the break, Nicholas, it's Canada 1, Morocco 2. And I can tell you, with that scoreline, Morocco will finish top on 7 points with the score of 0-0 in your game between Croatia and Belgium, Nicholas. Morocco going through as winners. As it stands from here, it's Canada 1, Morocco 2.
Yes, certainly that's how it will look. And Paul, you have to say that Belgium had more chances throughout the first half than Croatia, although Croatia did start to come back towards the end.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Nick. They did. And both sides have been huffing and puffing in that first half. But all in all, neither goalkeeper has really been forced into any major save. In that respect, the finishing has been poor. The game does need a goal. And I think that goal needs to come to Belgium for this game to really open up. Croatia will be happy with a draw right now, and as the game goes on, they'll continue to adopt more game management tactics.
But that chance at goal towards the end of the first half for Croatia was there. It's just a pity they didn't take it.
Yeah, it's down to the finishing in the end, isn't it? I mean, it's the final end product that's really been lacking from both teams. But I mean, at this point, like, the game is not bad to watch. It's just missing that final end product. And I just feel at this point, because of the way that the table is structured, that the game needs a goal right now.
Sounds like it certainly does. Although keep in mind, Belgium need to score by 3 or more to win. Qualify for the. To at least stand a small chance to qualify for the round of 16, which at this moment is not looking likely. What changes do you think? What changes do you think both sides will be making for the second half?
Well, I think Belgium are going to have to make some changes. I'm not sure if Romelu Lukaku is injured or what the problem is there, but he doesn't seem to be involved in any of the games, but I think only the second game, in the Morocco game, he was involved in. I think they need him right now. And really, they need Hazard. You've got over 100 goals between those two players. It's very, very. I don't know what word I should use here, but it's very, very wasteful not to use this talent that's on the bench.
Yeah, certainly. Before we go on even further with the game coverage, don't forget tonight. Join Paul again. Don't forget tonight. Join Paul and Luke Turton at 7:00 for Costa Rica against Germany, and Russ will be giving you reports on Japan against Spain. That is yet another group that is still very much open. So Croatia still looking to get the Croatia still looking to at least try and Croatia needs to try and make some kind of tax they're going to do. I think they should include the likes of Lovro Mayer. He scored in the last match. Do you think he could be a valuable inclusion?
Well, I think at the moment, whatever it is that they choose to do, they can't afford to leave it too long. They've got players with goal scoring capability on the bench. But I just don't think they can afford to leave it past sort of maybe the 60th minute, the hour mark. If Belgium haven't scored at that point, they need to be looking at making changes.
Anyway, going back to De Bruyne's comments saying that Belgium were quote unquote too old to win. Do you now think that's just pessimism on his part?
No, I think he's just being honest, and it's not the type of honesty that you kind of want to see coming out of the camp, because football fans, you know what football fans are like. We are all football fans. We don't want to hear from our own team that, hey, we're not going to do it because we're too old, or we're not going to do it because we're not good enough. That may be true what Kevin De Bruyne has said. He'll know more than anyone else. He's been with that team all the way through the preparations, the qualifications. He's going to know just as much as anyone else, but it's not what you want to hear coming out of the camp. It's not what the fans are going to want to hear. It's not what the manager's going to want to hear. It's an interesting one, isn't it? It's interesting the fact that he would say something like that, a player of such experience. But I think he's just being honest. There's maybe frustration showing there as well. I mean, he's running out of time to win a World Cup. He's 31 himself, so yeah.
I think. I think Belgium should also consider the likes of Tielemans, Batshuayi. I think someone like Batshuayi should have actually started, but seeing as how good a player he is, I think it is a wise decision to at least rest him for now, and then bring it back, and then bring him in during the second half. The thing is, though, they have to bring him in early because that'll give Belgium the extra spurt that they need.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed. It's they can't afford to leave any changes that they make for too long. They need to win the game. That's the bottom line. Just looking at the tables, I'm just going to bring up the tables for Group F. It looks like Well, yeah, it looks like a win will be enough for Belgium, but they don't want to wait too long to bring in these guys on that can maybe make a difference.
Yes, it looks like they certainly will do, but you also have to say the second half could well be make or break for Croatia because they didn't take advantage of any opportunities that they got in the first half. They really need to up their game.
Yes, I agree. They need to play better in the second half. They're running a risk by just getting 11 men behind the ball. I think that in terms of putting themselves in a much stronger position, a goal for them is what would do wonders for them as well. So, and this is basically why I say the game needs a goal, because it needs something to spur both of these teams into action in terms of what the finishing, the quality in the final third of the field, which is just kind of what's lacking right now. I suspect I wouldn't be surprised to see a half-time substitution from Belgium, but I guess we'll wait and see. But I wouldn't be surprised to see one.
If you were Roberto Martinez and you had to pick a half-time substitution for Belgium, who would you go for?
Romelu Lukaku.
Right.
I would be going for him. I might even make a double substitution and bring on Eden Hazard. There's just too much quality there to be left on the bench in such an important game. Maybe they're not fit, or maybe Romelu Lukaku is not fit, but he did play part of the defeat to Morocco. There's also Thorgan Hazard, who's on 9 goals. But as you mentioned, Batshuayi, he's got 20. So there's options on there for them. It's just a question of him wanting to use them.
Okay, we've also got someone on the comments called Heleno Seixas from Brazil. She says I mean they say they are watching the match, listening to us now, and they're asking, don't you think Mertens is not at his best and should be replaced?
I actually think it's a fair point. Mertens has not been at his best in this first half. He's not. He's got 21 goals. He's not been there for me. But again, the finishing as a whole, collectively in that Belgian squad, in that Belgian team, has not been there. It's the finishing has not been the greatest. Like I said, the goalkeeper has not been forced into a save. So Mertens, again, yes, I agree, not at his best. We'll see whether Roberto Martinez may replace him with one of the names I've already mentioned.
Okay, thank you to Paul. For his halftime thoughts. We should be able to get back. We should be getting back underway in around a few minutes' time. The players are now back out on the pitch. Doing some kind of kickabout warm up. You said that at the start of the first half you said just before kickoff that we'd be looking at a draw, possibly 1-1. Do you still think the same way going into this game?
Possibly. I think it may be. I still think it may be a draw. I'm not seeing anything that's changing my mind too much about that. Whether or not we'll see 2 goals in the second half remains to be seen. But I still think we're looking at a draw at this game. The 2 teams are very evenly balanced. There were periods of time in that first half where Croatia dominated, Denmark dominated too. Looks like we are seeing Romelu Lukaku. And Mertens has come off, so there we go.
Okay, we'll just we'll just wait for official confirmation. I can just see the players now entering, now about to emerge from the tunnel. I think that looked like the substitutes doing the kickabout warm up, and in fact, Croatia have made their way back out onto the pitch. Luke Turson says, "Evening, lads. Good evening to you, Luke. Hope you're well." And as we get ready to prepare for the second half. And it looks like Belgium are going to come out as well. Yes, indeed, they're being led out by Alderweireld. Kevin De Bruyne still wearing the captain's armbands, and look at that in the stands. 4 Father Christmases. I suppose it must be their day off from the North Pole too, as I come in and watch. And Romelu Lukaku, you were right, Paul, coming on in place of Dries Mertens, and you have you were saying that this move could well be key.
Yeah, I think so. I think when you've got somebody like Romelu Lukaku, especially when they've had a lot of the possession in the first half, like Belgium have had, and I did mention that the finishing wasn't the best. This is a man that can score goals, so I think it's the right move by Roberto Martinez.
Back underway now for the second half between Croatia and Belgium, and it's also now to start the second half between Canada and Morocco. We'll have updates from Russ from many key moments as and when we can. But it's now Belgium. It's now Belgium with a chance, looking for a chance at goal. Although that was easily halted by Croatia. Now the ball is with Alderweireld. Now passing back to Jan Vertonghen, and Vertonghen now passing straight back to Thibaut Courtois. Now Thibaut Courtois passing back to I think that was Alderweireld. Now Alderweireld now passing back towards Vertonghen. Now it's back with Alderweireld. Meunier to Donker. Now it's Alderweireld again. What can he do? He can only cross back to his to Courtois in goal, which is the answer. Now he's passed back out to Alderweireld. It's Alderweireld taking a bit too long with the ball for my liking, passing to Meunier. I think that was tactics, and if they were tactics, they were very well employed. And the ball has now ended up with Witsel. Witsel now passing back down to Alderweireld, and Alderweireld now passes to Meunier just over the centre line. Now back to Alderweireld. Belgium, it seems, do not want to lose the ball. Now the ball is with Vertonghen. Now back towards Alderweireld. Vertonghen again. Vertonghen crossing the ball now forward to Yannick Carrasco. Carrasco has been the standout player for Belgium in my view. Now it's back with Alderweireld. Now Alderweireld now crossing down the wing to Thomas Meunier, and Meunier now finds De Bruyne. De Bruyne towards Romelu Lukaku. Lukaku tried to hold on to the ball, but he only had to pass back to Meunier. Now it's back with Witsel. Witsel to Trossard. Trossard now passing the ball back out to Carrasco. Now it's gone back down towards Meunier, and Meunier to Kevin De Bruyne, and a cross by De Bruyne. He was aiming for Lukaku, but capped out really well by Josko Gvardiol, Paul.
Good piece of defending. Gets across there, and stops the cross from coming in, because waiting behind him was Romelu Lukaku. That was a great piece of defending.
Corner given to Belgium, and we've barely approached 2 minutes. De Bruyne kicks the ball in. Now it's with Carrasco, almost headed for Lukaku, but defended by Croatia. Now it's with Alderweireld, crossing by De Bruyne. He's aiming for Lukaku, but saved at the last moment by Livakovic, and Lukaku understandably disappointed at his effort going to waste.
Yeah, it was a high ball in for him. He got really high. He just didn't get enough power on the header, but already is causing a wee bit of a threat, isn't he?
Yes, he certainly is. And now the ball is with Juranovic for Croatia, and Juranovic now passing back down to I think that's Dejan Lovren. And Lovren has to watch out for Lukaku. He does well to pass to his teammate. Now the ball's gone back to Gvardiol, and Gvardiol now passing down the wing to I think that's Sosa. Sosa now to I think that was Modric. Now the ball's found Kovacic. Kovacic enters the 18-yard box, but he's passed down. So I think that's Perisic. Yes, indeed, it is Perisic. Perisic now Kovacic. Kovacic has now found Brozovic. Brozovic now passing to Gvardiol. Gvardiol back towards Brozovic, and it's just over the and it was just punched away by Courtois. And in fact, it was Kovacic. With the efforts, but you have to say Thibaut Courtois, excellent use of the hands.
Yeah, it was Kovacic's shot there. It was a save I would expect Courtois to make, a man of his ability. It was he got across smartly, turned the ball over the crossbar. Croatia just turning up the heat a little bit themselves in the second half. Corner
quickly taken by Croatia, but it was deflected away by Belgium. Now Croatia going for another shot, and that was by Borna Sosa, but his shot was too high. This game is still far from over though. 5 minutes into the second half, it's Croatia 0, Belgium 0, and you're listening to the Commentary Hub with Nicholas Jones and Paul James. Witsel now to Alderweireld, now back to Courtois in goal, and Courtois clears the ball out towards Romelu Lukaku, but it only goes as far as Trossard. Now Trossard to Yannick Carrasco. Carrasco now passes to Lukaku, straight out to Kevin De Bruyne. De Bruyne goes for the shot, but it's over the crossbar. He should have passed to Lukaku, and that would have been the opening for Belgium. And I think that's Eden Hazard on the bench. He's just waiting for his time to come on. But a really scrappy efforts by Belgium just now.
Yeah, De Bruyne would have been better playing it to Lukaku. It is possible Lukaku may have been standing in an offside position, and maybe that's why he didn't play it. But it certainly would have been the smarter ball rather than to turn and shoot, because even for somebody of De Bruyne's incredible abilities, that's always difficult to get right.
Yes, certainly seems like it. And now the ball's been passed around to Sosa. Sosa now to Perisic, and it was almost picked up by Kovacic, but Belgium do well to intercept that one. And now the ball is with Trossard. Now pass back to Jan Vertonghen, and it's still 2-1 to Morocco in the other game, Russ Vernon.
Yes, Nicholas, is still 2-1 to Morocco. Canada have had a few chances early on, but there's been no real goal efforts on target so far. It remains Canada 1, Morocco 2 here, Nicholas.
Thank you, Russ. And Croatia now back on the ball with Kovacic, and Kovacic now crossing down to Ivan Perisic, and Perisic now passing the ball to Sosa. Sosa was looking to set up Kramaric by the looks of it, but Kramaric was in the wrong place. Now Croatia still have use of the ball. It's now with Modric. He's passing back to, I think that was Kramaric, but deflected away by Witsel, and Croatia just do just enough to keep the ball in play. The ball's now being passed to Gvardiol. Gvardiol now to Sosa, and Sosa crossing to, I think that was Perisic, but now a shot. The save by Courtois, that was by Kovacic, I think. But I feel that Croatia are starting to get themselves ever closer and closer to the goal. The ball is now still with Croatia. It's now with Kovacic. Kovacic tries to pass to Modric, but it goes through his legs, and it's been passed to another player. Now it's gone back towards Modric. And Modric now passing to Lavia. Lavia now passing again to Modric. Modric looks for a shot, punched away by Courtois. And now it's with Perisic. Perisic to Sosa, and Sosa goes, and the ball just whistles past the woodwork, and it goes out of play again. But really good chances. But really good chances by Croatia.
Really good football, Nick. Really good. 2 chances, forcing 2 decent saves out of Courtois. They're difficult when it bounces in front of a goalkeeper like that, but he dealt with them very well.
Lukaku now with the ball for Belgium, and he's passed back to Carrasco. Now it's with Timothy Castagne, and Croatia try to take the ball back, but a foul on Axel Witsel, clutching. He's clutching the left side of his chest. Difficult to see what happened to him, but that ball saved right at the last moments by Courtois. Those were the efforts of Brozovic and Modric. I should admit, but it still remains scoreless after 55 minutes. Although Croatia are doing their utmost to try and change that, and now the ball has been passed to Andrej Kramaric. It's Kramaric now with the ball, but it's passed back down to Sosa, and Sosa now passing back to Kramaric. Now the ball is with Kovacic. Kovacic now passing again to, I think that was Kramaric. Now the ball's been picked up again by Brozovic, and Brozovic still trying to hold on, and he's now passed again to Sosa, and Sosa had the ball deflected away by Meunier, I think it was, but Belgium it seems just aren't slackening their pace, and we have the FIFA president Gianni Infantino in the stands. He appears to be relaxed. And the ball is now being played back to Croatia with Gvardiol. Gvardiol now passing to Livakovic. Now the ball again is with Lovren, but it's been passed out of play, and it looks like the substitute's going to come on for Belgium. It's Torgan Hazard, by the looks of it. So Roberto Martinez coming over to have a quick word with him, and the ball is now still with Livakovic in goal. Now it's been passed out to I think Gvardiol. It's still Croatia. In possession with the ball, but the ball has now been passed to. I think it's been passed around. It's last time I looked, it was with Sosa. Now it's with Kramaric. Now back towards Sosa. Sosa to Gvardiol, and Gvardiol now passing to Lovren, and Lovren has now found. Lovren has now passed the ball, I should say, to Luka Modric, and Modric now looking for a chance to pass it. It's now with Kovacic, and Kovacic now passing to Sosa. Sosa crosses the ball in, but picked up by Thibaut Courtois. And I have to say that was probably one of their least aggressive efforts so far. But Belgium still trying to. But Belgium still playing really well defensively, Paul.
Yeah, that was a poor ball into the box, but Belgium are holding up defensively. They're closing Croatia down. They've restricted them to just a couple of shots on Thibaut Courtois' goal at the start of the second half. But they are going to have to start turning this defence into attack, because they are still tied at 0-0, and they still need to win this game.
Substitute for Belgium, and coming off will be Leandro Trossard. He's had a couple of opportunities himself, but he will be replaced by Torgan Hazard, and Torgan Hazard along with Lukaku. Is he what Belgium needs?
Well, I might have gone with Eden Hazard, to be honest, but I mean, he was dropped today. For what reason, we don't know. But Torgan Hazard does have goal-scoring capability. He's got 9 goals for Belgium. He's fairly prolific in the Bundesliga with Dortmund as well. So it should be interesting to see how all this plays out. But they need to start turning this defence into attack. They've been under pressure for quite a while now.
Belgium still have the ball, Belgium had the ball briefly, although it was with Croatia for the last minute or so. And the Croatian fans still pushing their team towards victory. It's now with Sosa. Sosa now passes down the wing to Ivan Perisic, although Perisic has to get round Meunier, and it's saved by Courtois. I think that was a poorly timed cross by Perisic, and it's given Belgium the ball, back. Witsel to Alderweireld, I think, and now it's to Vertonghen, I think it was. Now it's back with Alderweireld. Alderweireld now passing to De Donker, and De Donker now back towards Alderweireld. Now the ball has been passed. Now the ball's still with Belgium. It's being passed back down to Alderweireld. Alderweireld now passing down the wing to Thomas Meunier. Now he's passing it back to Vertonghen. De Donker now passing to De Bruyne, and De Bruyne is now finding Carrasco. Carrasco going for a shot. No, it's straight with Lukaku and smacked off the post. How unlucky was Romelu Lukaku to miss that one when it could have so easily been the opening for Belgium, just inches away from breaking into the net. But it's not over yet. It's given Belgium a corner, and the fans are now starting to sense that they could well be back in on the attack. How do you see this one, Paul?
Well, it started with a superb pass by Kevin De Bruyne. The ball broke loose just about 7 or 8 yards out. Romelu Lukaku, I would say, was unlucky, but you'd expect him to maybe hit the target from there, Nick. A man of his capability and goal-scoring record. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh, but I would have expected him to have hit the target from there. In the end, it hits the inside of the post. Of course, he's unlucky in the sense that, a millimetre more towards the left-hand side of the goal, and it's 1-0.
I thought Carrasco had a chance, but he was halted by Livakovic, and Lukaku just could not take advantage of the rebounds. But Roberto Martinez, he's loving it. He just wants it, but it is loving it, and he just wants the team to step it up. And the ball is now with Dejan Lovren, I think, and it's now passed down to Meunier. Meunier passes the ball back to Alderweireld. Alderweireld now passing again to Jan Vertonghen, and Russ will tell me that there are 3 subs for Canada in just a moment or two, and that was a messy effort by Belgium on towards goal. The Croatian defense easily sorted that one, and to me it looks as though Lukaku didn't even get a sniff of the ball that time, or did he? No, it just bounced over his head and over it went.
Well, the goalkeeper was way out in real trouble there. I think the ball was out of play before De Bruyne got the ball back in. But yes, it took a header off the Croatian defense. Yes, it was a number 6 for Croatia, Lovren, that hit the top of his head, which took it away from the goalkeeper. And then it kind of bounced on the top of Romelu Lukaku's head. Perhaps he wasn't expecting it.
Croatia now in play with the ball. That was with Kramaric. Kramaric now to Brozovic. Brozovic now passing to Gvardiol, and Gvardiol now passing again to Kovacic. Kovacic has now crossed to Sosa, and Sosa now finding Kramaric, and Kramaric now passing this time towards Modric, and Modric now crossing forward to I think that was Perisic, but a couple of substitutes are about to be made for Croatia, and coming on will be Mario Pasalic and Bruno Petkovic, and Kramaric and Kramaric and Levaya will be coming on, but 3 substitutes for Canada, Russ.
Yes, Nicholas, and the captain Hutchinson has come out to replace Cage, let's say. Lauren's gone off for Jonathan David, and Connor's come on for Agamben. Canada's trying to get into this game and get equalising in this game. They can't do it at the moment. There's going to be a couple of substitutions now for Morocco, with number 17 Boufal coming off. He's one of the changes coming off with number 14, Abukale, coming on. And I think number 15 as well is coming on. And Marlon is about to come on. And is Sabri, who's coming off for them. 64 minutes gone here, Nicholas. Canada 1, Morocco 2.
And as you rejoin us, it looks like Croatia are going to set up an opportunity to score, and that was Perisic just outside the 18-yard box. Now it's with Sosa, but saved by Thibaut Courtois, and Belgium now looking to press home the attack even further. The ball is now with Axel Witsel of Belgium. We're approaching the 65th minute now. It's Croatia 0, Belgium 0, and you're listening to the Commentary Hub with Nicholas Jones and Paul James. We're also on the Commentary Hub too, Storm FM, and JB Sports, and you can also hear us on our Twitch channel. Meunier to De Bruyne. De Bruyne now crossing back down to Vertonghen. Vertonghen now finding Axel Witsel. Now the ball's been passed around to, I think that was Meunier, or was it Castagne? No, it was Castagne. Castagne now to Witsel. Now again, it finds its way back to Alderweireld to Meunier, and Meunier now passing again to Dodonka now, and Dodonka passes back to De Bruyne. De Bruyne now passing the ball around to Vertonghen, and now across to Carrasco, but intercepted, I should say, by Croatia, and foul on I think that was Kovacic, and Dodonka, and Dodonka was the perpetrator of this, and he gets a yellow card. But credit to Kovacic for trying to stay up.
Yeah, it's nice to see for a change instead of constantly rolling around on the floor. It's nice to see players trying to stay on their feet, trying to play the game. Definitely a yellow card in my mind. It was a late challenge.
Okay, and Croatia now starting to press even further. Now the ball is with Gvardiol. Gvardiol passes to Perisic. Now it's going back to Kovacic. Kovacic now to Sosa. And Sosa still has the ball for Croatia. Now it's been passed around to Yannick, or should that be Brozovic? Brozovic now to Perisic. Now back towards Kovacic. It's Kovacic now passing to what looks to be Petkovic, and Petkovic going for a long range. And now it's with Luka Modric, saved once again by Thibaut Courtois, and I think and for Luka Modric, he'd have thought that was going to go in, but you cannot deny the sharp reflex action of Thibaut Courtois. No wonder he's one of the best in the business.
Well, he still is, and he's shown himself to be all throughout his career absolutely solid. A world class to the uttermost, one of the very best in the world, and he's still only 30 years of age.
Lukaku was aiming to pass to Carrasco, but cut out by Croatia, and the ball has now been passed out of goal by Courtois. It's back with Belgium. This time it's now with Leandro, or should that be Leandro Dodonka? Dodonka now towards Kevin De Bruyne, and saved by Livakovic. For the past couple of minutes, it looked as though Croatia were going to. It looked like it was going to that they were going to try and find a way through. Now it appears to be Belgium, as the ball has now been rolled out to Gvardiol. Gvardiol now passes down to Sosa, and Sosa now passing again to I think that's Kovac, or should that be Petkovic? Petkovic now with the ball, and he's passed down to Kovacic. Now it's Petkovic. Petkovic crosses the ball forward to his teammate Pasalic. Pasalic now back towards, I think that's Petkovic. Now it's with Luka Modric. Modric Modric now aims for someone to pass to. He's passed. That was a good long pass to. I think that was Jovanovic, or should that be Juranovic? But the ball, but it was a throw into Belgium, and it's now with Axel Witsel. Axel Witsel under pressure from Juranovic, but Belgium still have control of the ball, and a foul on what appears to be Carrasco, and I think that was and I think that was Brozovic who made the contact. How do you sum this one up? Because it was dealt with very quickly.
It was a tackle from behind. I don't know why he's complaining. It was a tackle from behind, and it was an unnecessary challenge, really, right there in the middle of the park.
Succinctly put by Paul, and the ball is now being passed around by Vertonghen to Witsel. Now it's gone back to Alderweireld, back towards Vertonghen. And now the ball is with Alderweireld, and now he's passed again to Mounier. Mounier now with the ball, and it's now been passed back to Vertonghen. Vertonghen to Dodonka. Now he's passed to forward to Mounier. Mounier to Torgan Hazard. Now back towards Mounier. Mounier tries to keep it in, which he does, but saved by Livakovic. If that was an attempt at setting the ball up, that was very ambitious by Mounier, and a couple of substitutes look like they're going to come on for Belgium. One of them appears to be Jeremy Doku, but we'll have to see. But we'll have to see when they will come on. It's still the ball is now with Croatia, and a big chance for Canada. Russ Vernon.
Yes, the ball came into the penalty area, Nicholas, and there was an header off of the crossbar by the substitute Hutchinson, who's the Canadian captain now. He come back out, and Alistair Johnston could only head over the rebound, over the bar, and I'm just in a replay, and he actually bounced on the line from Hutchinson, so close to a leveler for Canada. It's kind of 1 Morocco 2. Plays 72 minutes here, Nicholas.
So Doku coming on for Canada, and also joining him is Yuri Tielemans, and Yuri Tielemans could also be what Belgium need, but you have to feel for Yannick Carrasco. He had quite a good opportunities in the first half, Paul, but he was unable to convert them to anything.
I'm surprised they took him off. He's probably been Belgium's most effective player for most of this game, but obviously the coach feels Tielemans might be better suited to this situation.
He certainly might be, as Croatia still tried to keep hold of the ball through Petkovic, but it's been given away to Belgium, and now it was aiming for Romelu Lukaku, but picked up by Gvardiol. Now he's been passed around to Dejan Lovren, and Lovren now trying to cross to I think that was Pasalic. Romelu Lukaku giving his instructions from the touchline. The ball has now ended up back with Belgium. It's almost headed forward, I should say, by Borna Sosa, but it concedes a throw in to Belgium, and Romelu Lukaku. Surely he has to find a chance to score at some point in this game, but there is still time left with some 17 minutes left. It's still Croatia 0, Belgium 0, and a slip up on goal and a slip up and a setup by Yuri Tielemans, which I feel is not like him, and that is a foul on and that was a foul on Petkovic. But the referee is apparently disinterested, as Tielemans now passes again to Axel Witsel. Now Witsel has found, I think that was Mounier. Now back towards Witsel, and Witsel does a long range cross, but it only ends up with Livakovic. Just going to take a look at the just going to still take a look at the table. Morocco still top the Group F table, and Croatia will be doing enough just to stay in second place and have a small chance to qualify. A chance, but there is a chance, and Canada, as we know, already out of it. So
they're finished.
So throw into Croatia, and now it was thrown to, I think, Pekovic, but players been stopped again, and I think that'll be a free kick to Croatia, judging by what I'm seeing on the monitor, and it will be Gvardiol to take the free kick for Croatia, and it was almost headed for Perisic, but Alderweireld did really well to try to stop it, and Pekovic now trying to set up an opportunity in the 18-yard box, but halted by Belgium, and it's Torgan Hazard to Yuri Tielemans. Tielemans now with the ball, or is it Doku? I think it might have been Doku. Now the ball's been passed down the wing to Meunier, and Meunier now passing to Alderweireld. Alderweireld now to Axel Witsel, and the ball is now being headed straight forwards to Jeremy Doku. It's Doku trying to get through to the 18-yard box, but defended very well by Modric, and Modric still managing to keep the ball in for Croatia. And the ball is still with Croatia. It's Petkovic, but a foul on one of the players. So play still goes on, and it's now with Torgan Hazard. Torgan Hazard tried to pass to Yuri Tielemans. It's now back with Torgan Hazard. De Bruyne now. The ball now ricocheting off towards. I think that was Tielemans, but Croatia still holding their ground, and Croatia still Croatia now we're in control of the ball. But that was a really good a good setup by Belgium, but Croatia was still able to hold on. But Croatia was still able to keep this up defensively, even though it was a bit scrappy at times.
Yeah, but it's very back and forth, this game, isn't it? In the second half, very back and forth. And I have to say, both sides are creating chances. It's a very absorbing watch. And Doku, who's just come on, he looks very lively.
Perisic now with the ball for Croatia. Could this be the chance for Croatia to get in front? Vertonghen doesn't think so, and he's now cleared it back forward to Jeremy Doku. It's Doku now with the ball for Belgium. He has to get round Modric. He can only pass to De Bruyne. A crossing by De Bruyne towards Torgan Hazard, and it's just wide. But it's given a corner to Belgium. And this could well be the chance for Torgan Hazard to set up an opportunity to get them in front. We'll have further news from Russ in a moment or two as Torgan Hazard kicks the ball into the 18-yard box and headed over by Jan Vertonghen, and Jan Vertonghen just can't believe what has happened, and what's your take on it, Paul?
Well, I'm not sure it came off Jan Vertonghen last. It looks like it may have came off the Croatian defender last, and maybe that's why Vertonghen is voicing his frustrations.
Ball about to be cleared out of goal by Livakovic, but we've just had substitute news for Canada and Morocco. Russ Vernon.
Yes, Nicholas, first for Canada, and David Weatherspoon has come on for Junior Oilet, and then for Morocco, Hakim Ziyech has been took off, as too as Rouhani for Amdallah and El Yamek. It remains Morocco, who still lead here by 2-1, with Canada trying to get a late equaliser with about 11 minutes left to play, Nicholas. Canada 1, Morocco 2.
An attempt on goal by Croatia just now, but repelled by the Belgian defenders, and that will result in the ball going out of play for a Croatia throw, as Zlatko Dalic gives his instructions to the Croatian player. That took the throw, but it's given another throw into Croatia, and that'll be taken by Borna Sosa. Borna Sosa gets ready to throw, which he does, and flicks off the head of Petkovic, and the ball the ball was entering the 18-yard box, but it was cleared away by Belgium, and offside. It's an offside. It's offside, and we'll have to But because of how quickly it happened, it was difficult to ascertain. It's difficult to ascertain what exactly happened to cause the offside. Any ideas, Paul?
Well, looks like it may have just been offside, but it's a good build-up by Croatia. When they've come forward in the second half, they've certainly looked a lot better in terms of their distribution of the ball. and the final ball into the box as well. They've definitely looked a lot better in this second half with that. Ivan Perisic, for me, has been the standout player for Croatia.
Kovacic now with the ball for Croatia. Now it's passed back to Sosa, and Sosa now passes again to Kovacic. Kovacic now with the ball, and he's passed again to I think that was Petkovic, but deflected, but cleared away by Witsel. Now it's back to Kovacic, and Kovacic now passes again to Modric, back to Kovacic, and now it's with Luka Modric, and Luka Modric now Luka Modric needs to set up an opportunity. He almost does so, and I think that was a pass to Juranovic. Now it's back towards Modric. Modric now passes down the wing to Gvardiol. Gvardiol now has the ball, and Gvardiol has entered the 18-yard box, but tackled by Meunier for Belgium. And for Belgium that was good use of the defence. And Gvardiol now sort of taking the time to pull up his socks as Sosa takes the throw in for Croatia. Now it's throwing back to Brozovic. Brozovic now to Gvardiol. And the ball is now headed back towards Brozovic, and Brozovic now passing to Petkovic, but Brozovic goes down inside the 18-yard box. The referee says no, and the ball once again is still with Belgium, and the ball is now being passed down to Yuri Tielemans, and Tielemans now to Alderweireld. Now it's Axel Witsel. Axel Witsel passes back down to Alderweireld, and Alderweireld now towards Meunier. Meunier was looking for Lukaku, but that was a good use of defence by Josko Gvardiol, and the ball is now being sent out of goal to Croatia, and it's now Croatia on the break once again with I think that's I couldn't see who it was, and the ball is now with Lovren, straight now to Modric, but still in play. Although Anthony Taylor looks to have pointed out something. Could that be because Lukaku was offside? I don't think we'll ever know. And now the ball has ended up back with Alderweireld. It's Alderweireld now with the ball with 7 minutes to go. It's Alderweireld still for Belgium. Now he passes to Meunier. Meunier now to I think he was aiming for Tielemans, but he's not. He only has to pass up the field to up the wing, I should say, to Vertonghen. Now the ball was with Doku. Now it's back with I think that was Meunier. Now the ball's sent straight back to Alderweireld. Alderweireld now to I think that was Tielemans. Now Tielemans crosses up the field, across up the wing, I should say, to Doku. It's Doku now with the ball into the 18-yard box, headed away by Croatia. Now it's headed away by Croatia towards Modric. Now it was a touch by a touch by Castagnier has sent the ball out, and it looks to me as though Eden Hazard is going to come onto the pitch as a substitute, but I feel he should have come on earlier. So it'll be a goal kick to Croatia, and we now have some 5.5 minutes left, and it's still Croatia 0, Belgium 0, and the ball is now being sent forward to Guardiola. Guardiola tries to defend from Lukaku and does it. Now it's with Kevin De Bruyne, and De Bruyne tries to set up a chance, but it hits the side of the net. Got that one all wrong in my view, and that has given Belgium a corner, which to be quite honest, neither side has been able to use effectively. De Bruyne raises his arm, he kicks the ball into the 18-yard box, but it's headed back down to Croatia, and what looks to be Juranovic. It's Juranovic for Croatia, trying to make a break for it, but he collides with Tielemans, and Tielemans now has the ball for Belgium, and it was passed back from Meunier to Tielemans. Now it's with Axel Witsel, and Witsel now passing the ball down wing to Meunier. It's Meunier now with the ball. He's passed to Doku. And Doku now needs to try and get round the defenders. He's passed again to Meunier, and Meunier now passing back to Doku. It's Doku now, just outside the 18-yard box. In fact, he's in, but bundled down by Borna Sosa. Now the ball is back with Belgium, almost headed towards Lukaku. It's now with Meunier, but deflected away at the last moment by Josko Gvardiol, and you have to say, Paul, that no matter how hard Belgium try, they just can't seem to get through.
No, they're defending well Croatia right now. They're making a couple of vital touches in front of goal. For me, they've been. They've defended very, very well, and now as time ticks down, you're going to see more and more game management.
Eden Hazard on for Kevin De Bruyne, and also off the pitch comes Thomas Meunier. In fact, he was actually off. In fact, he was actually on for Meunier. I do apologise as Hazard gives the captain's armband to Eden Hazard. And as things stand right now, it's still Morocco topping the group with some 7 points, and I've just heard from Paul, who his player of the match will be. We'll hear from him on that. We'll hear from him on that in just a moment or two. As it's now De Bruyne with the ball for Belgium, straight now to Axel Witsel. Now now it's Witsel with the ball for Belgium, straight now to I think that was Tielemans. Yes, indeed it is. Yes, indeed it is Tielemans. And Tielemans, or was it Doku? No, it was Doku. And what looks to be Matt Meunier on the side, taking a moment to reflect on a game that on what could have been for him. Free kick to Belgium, and it will be De Bruyne to take the free kick. A long range free kick for that, but poorly timed according to the referee. We'll try and get more impetus on what that was all about, but it was actually a poorly timed free kick. So it looks as though De Bruyne will have to take it again, and he does. Straight was aiming for Lukaku, but saved. But caught in the arms of Dominik Livakovic, and now I can ask Paul who his player of the match is and why.
I'm giving the player of the match to Yannick Carrasco. for Belgium. He's had the most influence, in my opinion, in this game. Before he was substituted, of course, but he's certainly been Belgium's best player, in my opinion, and created a lot of opportunities, worked hard. I don't think you could ask for much more from him, to be honest. And out of all of the players that have been on the pitch, he seemed to have the most positive influence on the game.
Certainly sounds like he has, and certainly seems like he has. We're now into the last 30 seconds of normal time left, and it's still Croatia 0, Belgium 0. Although Doku could well be going for a last-minute strike. Now it's been passed to Torgan Hazard. Can he find a way through? Straight to Romelu Lukaku. But it hasn't gone in. No, it hasn't. It was saved right at the death by Livakovic. And Romelu Lukaku, despite making all the best efforts he can in the world, it just doesn't seem to go his way.
No, I mean he's got to score from there. He's got to score from there. I don't know whether he just wasn't expecting it. Maybe he was expecting Lovren to get the header on that and get that away, but that is a missed opportunity for Belgium, and they are running out of time.
4 minutes added on for Croatia against Belgium, and the same can be said for Canada against Morocco. Russ Vernon.
Yes, Nicholas. Canada coming forward to try and get the equaliser, which, based on the second half, they could well have got a header against the bar, which was just bounced on the line, and I saw the goal line technology version of that, and he was just on the line. He didn't cross over. Alphonso Davies tries to deliver a ball in from the left hand side. He's put behind for a corner. We've played over 1 minute of that. Well, the third on. It remains Canada 1, Morocco 2. And Alphonso Davies has a corner to take right now. Back to you, Nick, for now.
Last minute substitution for Croatia, and coming on will be Lovro Majer on for Mateo Kovacic. Should have put him on earlier, in my view, as Tielemans now passes to Doku. It's Jeremy Doku now with the ball for Belgium. Tries to get round Jovanovic, but he passes down to De Bruyne, I think that is, and the ball is now again with Lukaku, but defended by Croatia. Now Belgium are back in it with a Doku. Doku needs to find a way through, but can't quite, and he was tumbled down by Mario Pasalic, and Pasalic now trying to clear the ball forward to, I think that was Petkovic, but Belgium still looking to attack. It's Castagne was aiming for Eden Hazard, and the referee has stopped play. I think that was because of the incident involving Tielemans and Petkovic by the looks of it. Talk me through this one, Paul.
Well, we'll start. You can see there's a clash there. I mean, the poor guy gets sandwiched. But just leading up to that, I just want to touch on this tackle by Janvier. This tackle to stop Romelu Lukaku. The ball was coming right to Romelu Lukaku, 6 yards out. That is a tournament-saving challenge right there.
Eden Hazard was aiming for Romelu Lukaku, but intercepted by Croatia. Now it's with Lovro Majer, and Majer has to pass to Livakovic in goal. Now the ball's being passed around to Perisic. Perisic to I think that was Majer. We're now into the penultimate minutes of added on time. And the ball it's a throw into Belgium to be taken by Torgan Hazard, which he does. He throws to Alderweireld, and Alderweireld now crossing the ball forward to Axel Witsel, but headed by, but intercepted, I should say, by Croatia. It's now with Majer and almost tackled by Torgan Hazard, in fact, and Croatia still have the ball through Brozovic, and Brozovic now passing down the wing to, I think that was Sosa, but Sosa does well to clear it out, keep it back in play just in time. And in fact, Croatia could be on for a last-minute break through Petkovic. And Petkovic now passing to Majer. but well tackled by by Torgan Hazard, I think it was, and we're now approaching the 94th minute, and there it is. The whistle has gone, and Croatia have done enough to make it through to the round of 16. A goal would have been nice. A goal or two would have been nice, but it is what it is, and Croatia have made the round of 16. Disappointment for Belgium after putting in such an incredible performance. But full time at the Ahmed bin Ali Stadium, Croatia 0, Belgium 0, and also full time between Canada and Morocco.
Yes, Nicholas, it is full time here as well. Canada 1, Morocco 2. Canada knocked on the door to try and get an equaliser. There was a bizarre decision which I saw given by the referee. The play was allowed to continue after a free kick, after a corner was taken quickly, cleared away, then come out for a throw. Throw was put back in. The goalkeeper came up for Canada to try and help out towards the end. His ball came back in. There was a clash between two Moroccan players, and the referee gave a free kick to Morocco rather than let the player go on. It didn't matter anyway because Morocco have held on for the win. First off goes from Hakim Ziyech and El Nesri with the goals. There was an own goal from Agard as well, which made it 2-1. But that's the way it finished, and Morocco go through as group winners. Fantastic performance from them today. Canada put them to the sword and put them on the battlefield for the majority of the second half, but they failed to get the breakthrough to equalise. Morocco go through as group winners as they've won by 2-1 against Canada here at Nicholas Jones.
And we can now confirm that the Group F table is like this: Morocco win with 7 points, and Croatia have sneaked, and Croatia still managed to maintain second place with 5 points. They were dropped. They were dropped by Morocco after leading coming into this game. But Paul, you really have to feel for Belgium after the effort they put in. I saw Romelu Lukaku crying his eyes out on the touchline, and you have to feel disappointed for Belgium.
Yeah, it's certainly not what they would have expected coming into the tournament. They would have expected to have won this group. But you have to take your hat off, really, not just to Belgium, but to both teams. I mean, yes, it was 0-0, but it was very entertaining, especially in the second half. Both sides creating chances. I do feel sorry for Belgium. Obviously, it's a last chance for players like Romelu Lukaku and perhaps Kevin De Bruyne and one or two others that we could name on that side. So I mean, this is a shame for them. They threw everything at it in the second half. They perhaps deserve a little bit better, but that's football, isn't it? And it's in the end, I think a draw kind of is the right result. I think both teams have thrown their weight behind the second half to create chances. Finishes 0-0, and Croatia and surprisingly Morocco top the group.
Yes, indeed they do. So in terms of now that we know who will be going through to the round of 16, gentlemen, how do you think Morocco and Croatia will do going forward?
Well, for me, before you say that, Paul, just for me quickly, I think it depends who each team face. Because if you look at Group E, that's still a lot to decide in that one. Who goes through in Group E in the World Cup tournament later, which we've got coming up later this evening. Because at the moment, every single team in that group can still qualify. Japan can qualify with a win over Spain. Costa Rica can qualify with a win over Germany as well. So we could see Spain and Germany go out, or we could see Germany sneak through and Spain go through as well. So it'd be interesting to see who they face. As it stands, if I look at it's going to be Spain versus Croatia and Morocco against Japan. And for me, I think in that one, in both of those, I think if he comes like that on the day, I think Spain could cause Croatia a few problems. I haven't watched Spain already and watched Croatia. And I think Japan could cause Morocco a few problems, but both teams can cause each problems. I think both games could go to the distance. It may even be the dreaded P word. I do not like to mention it on this channel, so I wish to be very carefully. Penalties. I think both of those games could go to penalties, depending if he's the top two that's currently in the top two in the Group E that finishing that way this evening. Nicholas, what do you reckon, Paul?
Well, I think I can't see Spain losing to Japan. I think Spain will top the group. I think it's very interesting on the next three teams. Germany certainly haven't been at their best. Costa Rica already got that win over Japan. So I think it's fairly up in the air who's going to finish second in that group. I think Morocco will not want Germany if they can avoid it, because although they have been playing very well, Morocco, they know that will be a tough game. I think Japan are in they'll be happy with a draw in their game, because a draw will see them through against Spain. So I think it's very much out of Costa Rica and Germany's hands. It's very difficult to predict, Russ. Very difficult.
Okay. Thank you very much, gents. We're just about out of time. But before we go, just time to plug our next. But before we go, just time to plug our next game for tonight. As just time to plug our games for tonight. As Russ mentioned, he'll be on reporting duties for Japan against Spain, and it will be Paul alongside Luke Turton for Costa Rica against Germany. There's also commentary tomorrow between. There's also commentary tomorrow with Ghana against Uruguay. Paul James. Paul will be reporting for that one. But a welcome return to John JB Stuttard for South Korea against Portugal. He'll be in the main commentary seat with Russ Vernon alongside him. Do not miss that one, whatever you do. And at 7:00, it's Cameroon against Brazil with myself on the mic. I will also be bringing forward updates between Serbia and Switzerland. So Morocco have their day in the sun by topping the group, and with Croatia in second place going through to the round of 16. It's fair to say that Belgium appears to have run out of chocolates. Good night.